We're a year out from the election. There's a lot of talk about addressability and technology and data and how that might impact the election. So how do you see things shaking out?
Well, I think addressability and set-top box data as a tool to more precisely place ads is a game changer. Whether you're an advertiser or a candidate, it's how you use those tools to your advantage. So I think it is absolutely a player in the political arena to use addressability and data-driven television to your advantage to win the election.
Cool. So Tracy, since we spoke this summer, where do things stand in terms of the continuum of addressability that you've been tracking? And of course, you've seen the merger of AT&T and Direct, which is a big thing. What other things have been developing that are either promising or frustrating? Where do we stand in the moment of time of delivering ads in an addressable way on a household level?
Well, I'm starting to see the business really start to scale. So in terms of spending, we said the 2014 marketplace was about $300 million, and I'm putting about 3 times as much money in the marketplace as I was a year ago. So it's really starting to scale. You know, our roster of client is very deep. So now what we're going to start having a conversation is about either how we use the techniques of addressable to apply that to linear television, which is a really promising area, or how we open up more inventory. So either is that the national inventory on the platforms that are already deployed or more deployment. So Comcast is deploying, so that's going to open up a lot of inventory, even if it's just their 2 minutes. So then you're going to have over 40 million linear platforms ready to go that could then scale up to the national cable inventory. And I also see smart TVs as a way to serve broadcast ads if we can figure out ad replacement. So I would say we're off to a great start. This is no longer if it's going to happen, it's happening. And I think in the next year or two, we're going to start to crack more inventory and more advertisers.
So speaking as an agency person, what's happening on client activations as addressable exists? In other words, is creative changing? Are there new advertisers coming in? What are the economics? I mean, it must be changing in terms of brand activation. Where does that stand?
I think we're just starting to scratch the surface, quite honestly. I had hopes early on that we'd start to bring in new advertisers, and one that we went on record with was a company called Warby Parker, and I was so excited to win this new piece of business because it was a first time ever on television, new creative. But I would say that's the exception and not the rule. What we're seeing is the deep list of television players use television more efficiently and effectively. So I think the big opportunity is to start to pivot to bring in new advertising forms. You mentioned political as one. That might be one. I think direct mail is another huge category. It's one of the last big analog categories that are still out there alive and well, $50 billion. And we're using a lot of the same techniques in addressable television. So I think that's a huge opportunity for us.
Could you just explain direct mail and how that works, or the relationship to addressable TV?
So essentially, as a direct mail advertiser, what I do is I go to list providers, or I have my own list, like Experian or Axiom, and I say, I want to mail my restoration hardware catalog, slew of catalogs that they put out, to homes that have bought furniture in the last 90 days. And so those are readily available lists that I could buy, and I can mail them my catalogs. Well, the average cost of a direct mail piece is over $1, and in CPM, TV CPM language, that's $1,000 CPM. And addressable inventory is going for significantly less than $1,000. So here's an opportunity for an advertiser or for a direct mail client to tell a sight, sound, and motion message and stimulate demand for something like a restoration hardware. It's using the exact same principles. Whoever they were going to send the piece of mail to or the catalog to, I can send a 30-second spot to.